All right, what we have here is a special car and a special guest. You guys might know Randy. It's been a minute. We've both been busy, and we have some new content coming out since the channel got deleted. We're trying to rebuild it, and he's here to help me out today with something very special that he's been working on. What do you got here?
I literally received today a body that I reached out to Westmade to make for me, and what it is, it's basically Ford F-150 step side. That it was a truck that my brother had years ago, and he's always been reminiscing about that truck. So I figured, hey, what the heck? I've been watching Westmade for a while make a lot of the bodies and his vacuum forming skills, and so I basically reached out to him, and here it is. I finally got it.
Ready for the freewheeling Ford.
Super trick Ford machines, trucking through the night. The feeling is freewheeling, the feeling's dynamite. Feeling free, feeling free. My freewheeling Ford is TNT.
Freewheeling means you can get options like special paint, trick wheels, panel interiors, and more from your Ford dealer.
And we're gonna break up this video into a few segments. A bunch of history with him and his brother. There's Westmade. There's this truck, and there's something really special about it. And before we get to the segments, what's happening here is this is a one-off. This is an RC that doesn't exist, and it is styrene. So it was vacuum formed. Molds were made just for this. Doesn't exist anywhere else. So before we get into this vehicle, talk to us about Westmade. What do we know about this guy?
So today we're going to take our new vacuum.
Guy that he does these vacuum forming molds. And a lot of people in the past, I followed him, or I've been watching him for years. Headquake is another one that he'll make these RC bodies that are all out of wood. Donnie Han, he does this Mad Max kind of animatronic type of builds, and I've always just kind of been intrigued by all those. And so what Westmade does is he instead of layering on styrene, he started developing this vacuum forming, which I really caught on, and I thought that would be really cool to kind of have one of these builds, because it's ultimately an artist. You want some of an artist's work, and
an artist respecting another artist. So there's many ways to build a body from scratch, and he just touched on the layering styrene plastic and then dremeling it, kind of carving it out. You can use wood. Clay is what the automakers use. You can use wood, but it's not going to hold up. Wood you could use, but it's not quite gonna be as ready for the RC crawling that we do. But this seems to be to speak to you, vacuum forming, right?
Yeah. And what he does is he'll carve out, like for example, this top, and he'll just make a puck, but basically the form.
Yeah.
And then he'll just heat up the styrofoam or styrene, and then just vacuum form it to this shape.
Right.
And then ultimately he then assembles each body component that he creates.
Right.
And it makes makes more of that rounded stamped steel look that I've liked.
Yeah. It's what we're familiar with Lexan.
Yes.
Right. And
yes.
how would you say styrene compares to Lexan? It's a little thicker.
A little more thicker. I mean, Lexan can take a beating. You're gonna have to be fragile with these. But yeah,
right.
it's
these won't bend and come back to life. It'll be more like a body panel.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. All right. So next thing is, let's talk about the truck. This is not, you can't buy this from Axel or Traxxas. What's special about this truck?
Like I said, it was a truck that my brother had just many years ago.
What year and what model?
It was a '77 F-150 step side, and what was unique about it is we found it at a pot lot, or a lower grade car lot, like we call them pot lots. But it was a truck that was assembled here locally in Milpitas at the Numi plant.
Oh, really?
And it had this particular, because it's so small, Wes was able to do the pinstriping, and I don't know how it would even been possible, so good call on him. But there was this pinstriping, and as far as I can tell, it was considered the freewheeling option from back in the day. And so this F-150 had this unique pinstriping with the decals. But essentially it was just an F-150 4x4 step side standard.
1977.
77.
You think they made a lot of these, or many years?
Over the years, the only other one I've seen is a green one that had something similar. But as far as I can tell, these pinstripes that I've noticed, they're not. I haven't seen two of the same.
I see.
I don't know if it was someone that was doing it or it was a Ford option. But it just made this particular truck unique. Talking with them and messaging back and forth. What's nice is he actually keeps these molds, which was kind of cool.
Right.
Because when I first reached out to him, he did previous builds of an F100, but those were bump sides, and it was just a body line feature that made the different years look different. And so he took a picture of all of his molds that he kept.
Yeah.
And I thought that was actually kind
Yes,
of cool.
quite a few.
So I'm sure he has these stored also, because I mean, with all that work, you got to keep that
Right.
stuff.
So as you'll see in the process, most of the work goes, I believe, is making the mold. The mold is the shape out of some structure. Usually wood is what he makes it with, and from the mold you can make hundreds of copies. So if you're only making one, then the majority of it of the work is in making the mold.
Yeah, but even with that process, there's still a lot of skill that is taking place here to create the ultimate finished part.
Right. Okay, so let's go through what he did. So it just got delivered today. I will have a link. How do you make a mold? How do you make a mold? From what? And how he does it is from photos, from pictures. So I believe Randy just sent him a bunch of photos, and he just looks at it, prints out the photo, looks at his phone, and starts measuring. So that's just mind blowing to me that he can get proportions right just from photos.
Yeah, and that's why I had to reach out to him. And like I said, it's just to being able to have someone that has that ability and to be able to get one of his masterpieces is awesome.
That's right. He should have signed it.
Yeah, well, actually he did.
He did.
Yep, there's a little Westmade plaque that he put on the bottom.
So,
yeah, it's definitely it's nostalgic, or what was it? Certified.
Certified Westmade.
Yeah,
guaranteed. Okay, so let's talk about what he made. I'm going to have a bunch of photos close up as he's talking about it, but let's go from front to back.
Yeah,
on what you see.
As you can tell, that the vacuum formed body panels that he would actually have to glue and assemble, fill. He does, they do filling work. Obviously the paint work. Decals are made to mimic the body or painting of that truck. But the grill was 3D printed. I mean, the detail on this is on point. There's the antenna, which is in the bag there. I just didn't put that on because it literally just came out of the box. So you see the grill accuracy. So I sent them photos of this truck, and I only had one photo, and it was a photo that was at an angle. So it was able to see the grill detail.
Wow.
The pinstriping was really hard to see.
And there was not a lot of photos on the internet?
It was just one photo. No, like I said, the paint scheme of this truck was, I couldn't find anything on it.
Okay.
And anything that came close was called freewheeling option that Ford came out in the late 70s. And so, yeah, the photo I had was really grainy, and it was an older photo.
Yeah, we'll superimpose the photo.
Yeah.
Send that to me.
But yeah, so basically the details is down as what he did is just all the marking lights, the grill, windshield wipers. He actually, I believe, he actually had to hand scribe the cowl vents. Full dash, floor, the seat folds forward, bench seat as the truck came with. And again, just the step side tail lights. It does have working lights, so I got wires for the front and rear. So the lights will be working. Even with the wood bed with the chrome strips was done. And so yeah, man, I just
so he works with a ruler and punches, measures a million things. He puts the template, the picture on the wood, and then he works from there. He carves out the wood, and that's, I think he could build this whole thing that way. But he is incorporating some of 3D printing, right?
Yeah.
In doing some of the mold.
Yeah, over the years of we have all evolved, with the 3D printing coming out. So he did as well. So all the little small components and the fine detail, he's now able to use the 3D printing. I think he has a resin printer.
Right. And he can make the mold out of 3D print, but he's not doing it yet. He's just doing it on some
parts,
some parts where it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah,
He's
but in the
still-
past, he would. I mean, everything was made
Yeah.
by hand and
Yeah.
styrene. Like he would, you know, there's been videos if you look him up where he's been making grills by hand.
by hand.
And so yeah, it's
How would he do that? Drill it out.
like I said, it's painstaking. It's a lot
Yeah.
of work, a lot of work, a lot of attention to
Yeah,
detail and
this
skill.
grill in the detail is so good. But you know what's cool is the when I show you guys the photos, is everything here is planned out. So nothing opens. By the way, we're not he's not into the hinge work. So it's the body shape, but
But he can do that though.
you can do that, huh?
Yeah, he can
So
do that.
everything, the curves, where every little bevel is not by accident, and the depth of these creases, it's all cool. And you mentioned something about the indentation was wrong on
Yeah,
his old
'cause
mold.
he actually done an F100 build previously, and that body style, because we went back and forth a little bit, that body style mode that he originally had was for a bump side.
Mhm.
And what it is this body line would protrude out, where 73, 79, it was a dent side. And so he messaged me right away. He's like, hey, this looks a little bit different. And I had explained to him, yeah, it's the dent side body. Which is so he did a lot of work and a lot of remaking of new molds, I'm sure, because I can't see him modifying the old ones.
Oh,
'cause
right.
I would have kept them myself.
Right.
But yeah, he ended up having to do the dent side body panel, and then of course creating the molds and getting that detail.
And these are really cool. These are like from the glory days of metal bending.
Yeah, stamping.
Stamping is
Yeah,
when a lot of there's so many nuances to the 60s, 50s to 70s cars. That's how you differentiated.
Yeah, yeah. But it's pretty it's interesting because you get the finished product, and it's hard to even imagine of how much work it goes into creating this finished piece.
Right.
Because most people just see, oh, you just slap paint and a couple decal stickers and painted some chrome parts.
Right.
But no, I mean, you have to literally,
Yeah.
like you said, you're taking, because the
Panel
one
by panel.
Panel by panel.
Like you created a car.
So the photo that I sent him, again, was just a photo that was, pictures of a photo that I sent him close up to try to get the details. So he's actually had to pull up images from the internet to get side profiles or cab profiles.
Okay.
I sent him photos of how the dent side kind of wrapped around a little bit down out the back or down the side of this back of the cab.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's a lot of research to before you even start creating the body
Right.
parts.
Where are we going with this? Obviously, you need a chassis. What's the wheelbase, and what are going to be compatible chassis for this?
I mean, we measure, it's almost about 13.8, 14-inch wheelbase.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll be honest with you, I'm kind of intimidated even trying to attempt to make a chassis for this thing
Right.
because it came out so nice.
Yeah.
So I don't know yet. I'm still open on what I'm gonna have to do. I had an idea of making my own chassis.
Tell me about your brother. That was another enlightening thing to me. Was this is not for him? He's gonna gift it to his brother. There's a good story behind that, and their love for cars and the one-to-one.
I might change. I might just keep it. But yeah, he's not aware of it yet. But yeah, but the plan was, the plan was just say, hey man, just here, because he's always been in the models, and he's always been crafty himself. So, and I've always done the RC because just the mechanical portion of it. So I figured, what the hell? I'd be like, hey dude, here's your entry to RC.
Yeah,
Freewheeling forward.
you fall in love with different parts of the hobby. In the bashers, the speed and the jumps, but in the crawler, it could be the crawling or it could be the scale. And in his case, it's the nostalgia. His brother owned one.
At the time you didn't know.
Yeah, he always mentions it, right?
Yeah, because
like,
at the time you're like, oh, it's just a truck,
I miss that truck.
Yeah, and then years later you're like, man, I should have just kept that truck. You know what I mean? So well, here it is, smaller version.
Yeah, here you go, just as you remember it.
And I think it's just doing the smaller version is just, you still have the nostalgia, you still have the memories, you still have that truck. It's just cheaper to
Oh yeah.
have and maintain.
It's something more practical because you don't have to register it and you don't have to maintain it.
Yeah, and that's what. And I'll be honest, that's what intrigues me with RC is just I can have those dream vehicles or trucks without filling up my driveway and my wife killing me.
Because this driveway is already full.
Yeah, so.
And we have there's a new commission of a new truck that Westmade is gonna have to build. Maybe, huh?
I mean, he's pretty busy, so I mean, it's up to him. I don't want to pressure him.
And he's married, so he doesn't want to throw money away right now. All right. Any closing thoughts? What surprised you the most out of this project?
You know, looking at photos, just taking it out of the box was like, wow, this is by far this. I know I kept texting him and messaging him, was like, man, I can't wait to get it. I was trying to be patient, and I just always told him like, Dad, this looks awesome. You know, it's like, how can you respond when you're speechless with just photos?
Right.
And so now that I've got it, it's like I'm like I said, I'm kind of like I don't want to build a chassis because I don't think I can match this level of detail.
Yeah,
you know, do it justice exactly.
Yeah, and
but yeah, I am grateful. I had an opportunity to get something from a true artist, and I would, you know, there's a lot of people out there now that are doing a lot of 3D printing and a lot of chassis making themselves, and that's just a different form of artism. So. You know, I think you know, I'm honored to have this from him, and I'm glad he took the time and created this one off. So and this will definitely not be on the rocks. I mean, I probably could, but yeah, it's just it's going to be take some special.
At Linda Vista.
Yeah.
He gonna sit aside. He gonna sit this one out.
Yeah, I'll be in the dirt. I'll be in the grass and the dirt.
And I don't think we're gonna put the Monster Forest brushless hobby wing on this. Huh?
Oh hell no. No. Maybe like a 380.
380.
You know?
Yeah, 380. Just Mr. Miyagi.
Yeah, slow, easy. You know, he's just driving to 7-Eleven and grab a beer and come back. That's kind of thing.
All right. Well, thank you everyone for sitting with us, and thank you, Randy, for
Thanks
for hanging out.